Hello everyone, this is Srijani Ray and today's topic is how to crack ACET examinations. Now since you are here, I assume that you do know somewhat about what are ACET examinations or actuarial science examination tests that are held by the Indian Institute of Actuaries. So when we talk about actuarial science, what do we really mean? Before jumping onto the topic, I would really like to make you understand about what actuarial sciences really are. So actuarial sciences or the science of actuaries is considered to be one of the most widely read sciences, widely read economic topics in India. So not only in India, all over the world. And it is said to be a very highly paid. It is extremely highly paid and it has a very good reward in life. Like if you invest your time and your person and your efforts in this particular subject, you can get a lot in return. But it is also said that it can burn you out. Yes, when you are doing an actuarial science or an actuary, you are an actuary, you have to invest a lot of your mental energy and your mental faculties for that matter. So what happens is you usually burn out very quickly comparing to other jobs, but at the same time it is a very highly paid job and a very highly paid section of economics. So before jumping on today's ACET examinations, I would like to tell you about what actuarial science really is. As I was saying in the beginning, actuarial science is the science of, let's say it in a very simple word, it is a science of risk taking. Yes. For example, imagine you are very thoughtful about the future. You are not the one who is going to spend all their money in some trivial fun. Okay, so you decide to make a policy for yourself. It can be a retirement policy, it can be a short-term policy or a long-term policy. What happens when you decide to purchase policies is that you have to submit an amount of at the end of every month. So that amount gets added up to your policy. So while that amount can be small and big, you have to understand that this amount that you're paying or the premium that you're paying, that has a lot to do with what person you are, the kind of genetics you have, the kind of area you're living in, what are your family backgrounds, what are the risk factors, if you're doing a very high risk job or if you do a desk job. All these factors come into account when your premium is calculated. So imagine you have done a health policy and it is an accident policy or something else. It depends on it is actually based on your health. So imagine you do a very high risk job. Maybe you are a firefighter or you are a construction worker. So what happens? The chances of you meeting with an accident is a lot more than the average bank worker. So what happens is that the premium that you have to pay at the end of every month increases. So while this calculation I have explained in a very simple term, this calculation takes a lot of effort, statistics, years of studies to come into a final premium plan. So this studies of risk, study of risk taking, risk behavior, how human behavior depends on or how economics depends on risk factors, and how you contribute to those factors. This is what actuaries or actuarial sciences are really about. Now that I have enlightened you about the actuarial studies section, I would also like you to know about what are the parts of actuarial sciences. Now there are two parts. First there is actuarial sciences that are conducted by the Indian Association of Actuarial Sciences, and then there is the British Association. Today we are going to talk about the Indian Association. So what happens in this, when you are taking your ACET examinations, the first thing that you have to keep in mind is this is an exam that is conducted for everyone. All of the people who want to pursue a job in actuarial sciences. It is a job that is based on actuaries, as I said, and it is an examination that all of the students, regardless of their background, regardless of their universities, take to get admitted in this Indian Actuarial Institute. So now that I have told you about this, there is also one thing that I would like to really say is that if you are a student of IFOA or other such universities, you do not have to take this examination. Please keep this in mind, because when you are studying for an examination and you belong to such an university like such a place like IFOA, it would be really worthless for you to study on an examination. You can get direct admission in actuarial sciences. So that is something that I would really like you to keep in mind. Please, one thing that is very important if you want to take up anything in life is that you understand the scopes and syllabus of that particular topic or that particular examination. So today I would like to completely give you a really nice brief about what this actuarial sciences or ACET examinations is all about. So the first thing that I would like to tell you about is these are home-based online examination. Yes, it is a home-based online examination that you can take from your home. Now, this doesn't mean that you can get to take unfaithful means. What they do is they do proctoring. What is proctoring? They monitor you through AI or artificial intelligence, which means that your mic and your camera has to be on all the time that you take the examination. That is a full of 3 hours. The examination is a total of 3 hours, and the camera and the microphone has to be on for the entire time limit. So while the examination is going on, you have to be very sincere, and you have to you cannot absolutely take on any unfaithful means, or you have to go to the website, and in that website you have to answer the questions in the paper, in the sheet provided by the website itself. There is a online exam answer sheet or an MCQ sheet, and you have to click the answers in that particular website. So this is a home based online examination. What you have to really understand is this examination, though it many people consider actuarial sciences to be a very difficult subject or a very difficult means of studies, this examination really is a very basic examination. It is just an entrance examination for your Actuarial Sciences Institute. So it contains what you have studied in your +2, your maths, statistics and other subjects that I will talk about later in the video. All of these have a very limited scope in this particular examination. Now this doesn't mean that it's an extremely simple examination. It is a moderately simple examination that you will be able to crack in 3 to 4 months of preparation. To further proceed into this video, I would like to discuss about the syllabus of this actuarial sciences examinations. Now, Mathematics and statistics are the two most important part of this examination. Mathematics contains 30% of the entire paper. Statistics contains another 30% of the entire paper. The entire paper is of 100 marks, and what happens is when you focus very intently on mathematics and statistics, you secure 60% of the entire syllabus. This is the most important part of the syllabus. Now in mathematics there are very standard topics like calculus, some basic algebra, there are very important topics are matrices, indices. These are very important. Now there are also quadratic equations and things that you have studied in your +2. If you have a basic important and complete crisp sense of mathematics, it would also be very important in the next part, that is statistics. Now what is important in statistics is that your concept, your +2 concept should be very clear, so that you can take on the new topics that this syllabus poses. As I said, maths, it is basically a +2 syllabus, but statistics, you do have some new topics. Now what are these new topics? In statistics you have the things that you have studied in 12. There are things that you have to improve upon those topics. Now don't think that the +2 topics will not be there. So there will be probability, there will be some very important or new things that you have not studied, that is the major distributions, probability distributions, variables, and things like this. Now in statistics, what is, as I said, the most important thing is you have your basic +2 concept should be very clear, so that you can grasp on the new subjects. Then I will proceed on to the other parts, that is data interpretation. Now if I talk about data interpretation, it is the most simple part of your paper. Many say that it is the last part, that is the 10 part, it has 10 marks. I will talk about that later, but data interpretation is really the most simple part of your entire paper. It contains 15 marks. It has total of 15 marks, and you really have to learn around 6 to 7 concepts to understand, to score very high in this data interpretation part. This is actually like it is like a gift to you from the institute. So if you really want to score very good, you have to practice your data interpretations every day. Now maths and statistics, these are the only two subjects, only two parts that really need some effort. After this you have to rely completely on your basic cognitive sense, and then your the things that you have learned since your childhood, that is all that is going to come into use in the next part. So now that I am talking about data interpretation, there are going to be pie charts, line charts, graphs, things like this, and you have to interpret the data that is given into those pie charts and other graphs and stuffs. So as I am saying, it is a very simple part of your syllabus, but that doesn't mean that you will ignore it, or you will you won't pay it enough attention, because these are easy 15 marks that you can score very easily if you just practice it on a daily basis. So why wouldn't you practice? Like that is the most basic thing that you can do to prepare for any examinations. So data interpretation is a very simple part of your syllabus. Now after data interpretation, there are also two more things that need discussion. Coming to the next most complicated part of this examination, what students feel to be is English. See, maths, statistics, then there was logical reasoning, which I am coming in the next part. These things you can practice and you can study in 3 to 4 months, and you can grasp a knowledge that is enough to crack this examination. But what is important in the English part is that your vocabulary, your comprehension skills, your grammar skills, and the skills that are required to understand basic comprehension or basic passages, those don't come overnight. All of us know that learning a whole language is not possible to grasp overnight. So it is really important for you. If you think that you are weak in English, those who are comparatively good in English, they will not have too much problem. This part, the English part, contains idioms, synonyms, antonyms, and things like this. So if you have been a good student of English from your childhood, you will find it really simple. But if you think that English is your weakness, or you cannot really score high in English, or you have never scored high in English, then what you have to do is that you have to practice it daily. I will also discuss about the strategies that you can employ in all of these parts. But now discussing about the syllabus, it is important that you read a newspaper or some kind of book every day. Imagine you have learned a new word. It is not possible for us to grasp that amount of information, because there are thousands and crores of words that we face and we read every day. So what you can do as a person is that when you are reading a new word, you can make sentences with those words. You can think of sentences that work with that word. For example, if there is a word called unanimous, what is the meaning of unanimous? The meaning of unanimous is that everyone agrees to it simultaneously. If there are 10 people, all of them are agreeing to something. So we use it as unanimously agreeing to it. So you are compressing a long sentence into a short word. This is what vocabulary is all about. You do not have to use long, drawly sentences. Only short, crisp words are very important to have a very nice vocabulary. So, there I have mentioned enough about English. Then I can come to logical reasoning. Logical reasoning contains just 10 marks, 10% of your paper. It contains the lowest amount of marks. English had 15%, I forgot to mention that. So in logical reasoning, what you have the usual clock sums, then those family lineage and all that. These yes, if you are somebody new to logical reasoning, the logical reasoning as a subject, it is not really very hard to accomplish. There are a few methods that you can employ. There are a few technicalities that you can learn while practicing logical reasonings that can get you a long way. And this will not only help you in your ACET examinations, that can help you in all of your future examinations that you want to pursue. So practicing logical reasonings and doing some doing little bits of reasonings every day is very important for you to actually get a nice hold and grasp of this particular part of the syllabus. So now that I have talked about more or less the scope of the syllabus, I would like to talk about the question pattern. So talking about the question pattern, there are 1 mark questions, 2 mark questions and 3 mark questions. The highest is 3 marks. So there are 45 questions of 1 marks, there are 20 questions of 2 marks, and there are 5 questions of 3 marks. So what are these 3 mark questions? Let me say that. 3 mark questions, for example, you get a comprehension and you are investing time to read that passage. So that particular question has 3 marks. It is awarded 3 marks for you because you have invested time in that particular question. 45 questions there are of 1 marks. Those usually come from maths and statistics part. So that is the general nature of the examination. a very important and indispensable tip that I would like to really give you is that this examination does not have any negative marking. Yes, it does not have any negative marking. So it is highly advisable for you to attend every single question. Even if you are not sure about that answer or you think that you are answering it wrong, it is very important for you to answer that particular question. For example, in the English part, if you think the meaning of a word is something and you don't really know the meaning of the word, but you can derive some amount of information from the examples from the options that are given, I would highly suggest that you enter any answer that you feel like, because if you are wrong, you have nothing to lose. But if you leave that question, you will lose 1 mark. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. You have to attend all answers, every one of them, be it 1, 2 or 3 marks. 3 marks, of course, you have to absolutely answer those questions. You have total 70 MCQs, total of 100 marks. You have 3 hours. Now I think 3 hours is a very sufficient time to answer 70 questions. A very important tip that I would like to give, which is applicable for any examination that you take in your life, is that you read the questions carefully. When you have 3 hours for a particular set of questions, what happens is you start to panic. Most people start to panic. Panicking is something you absolutely cannot afford in MCQ type questions. This whole paper is MCQ type, and if you start panicking, you will deliberately answer the wrong answer even if you know the correct one. So panicking is something that you absolutely cannot afford to do. Sit, take a deep breath, think of all the things that you have read, keep them in your mind. And another tip for all the examiners and all the examinees is have a very good night of sleep prior the day of your examination. This, I don't know why many people tend to do a full night of study. That is something that is really not conducive to the mentality that you have during your examination hall. What happens if you have a complete night of sleep is that your mind is absolutely fresh. A full night of rest is very important for you to actually retain what you have studied in all these months. You have studied for 3 to 4 months, and it is not possible for you to revise all of those in one night. So it's better for you that this one night you take rest. You sleep at 9, you revise some few things that you think that you might forget, and then you go to sleep at 9 or 10 o'clock and you wake up the next day, you revise a bit more. Do not panic, do not get stressed. You have put all your effort. Believe in yourself. Believe that yes, I have studied, I have read, I have worked upon this examination, and I can achieve this. Believe in yourself. Sit in the examination hall, take a deep breath, read all the questions before answering. Every answer paper and every examination hall, you do get the reading time. Read your mathematics and statistic questions first. Think of the answers, then start answering, because I really do not want you to waste your month of preparation. Now, I would really like to talk about the strategies that you can employ in this examination. I have spoken about some strategies before in this video, but I would like to elaborate about some of those strategies. Is that in your syllabus pattern, there is first maths and then there is statistics. But I would suggest you to first start with statistics, because statistics is something that requires a fresh mind. You have to have a very fresh set of mind and faculties to really grasp those concepts very easily. So while you are studying statistics, make it a point to practice those theories or the things that you learn in your statistics paper every day. Every day from the day one of preparation, devote, yes, for example, you are first studying statistics, first trying to prepare with the statistics part. So you devote 4 hours every day to the statistics part. Now, when you are completely done with your statistics part, I would also like to advise you this, that do not absolutely give it up. Do not jump to maths and forget about statistics at all. After you are done with the statistics paper and you take up maths, make it a point to revise what you have studied of statistics at least 1 hour every day. You do your maths, you do your 4 hours of maths, but do not forget your statistics. This is something that I would like to advise for every part of your examination. For example, you are done with statistics and you have taken up maths and you are practicing statistics. Now, when you are also done with your maths part and you are moving on to English, also practice maths for 1 hour every day. You cannot afford to sit and think that, okay, I have completed the syllabus, so I don't need to go back to that again. No, this is something that is absolutely not advisable when you are going to take an examination that is of an advanced level like this. Then I move on to data interpretations. Data interpretations and English and logical reasonings. See, these, you might think that how will I study all of these every day? For example, if I take the example of logical reasonings, you do 10 logical reasonings every day. So in 2 months, you are done with 600 logical reasonings. This is all you need. If you take 4 months to prepare, imagine the amount of logical reasonings that you have done. Yes, you do have to revise, of course, but you have to practice at least 10 every day. This is about logical reasonings. Then I go to English. Practice at least 10 words, 1 comprehension and 10 synonyms and antonyms. It won't take you much time. Then you go to data interpretation. Practice 2 theories. Do at least 1 interpretation of a pie chart or a line chart or a graph. Do whatever. One thing I would like to mention about data interpretation is that you would need a scientific calculator while taking the examination. Now, there are a lot of scientific calculators that are available in the market. While you are looking for this examination in the website, they mention a list of calculators that you can use. Now, the most used calculator is FX82 ES plus. FX82 ES plus. This is the calculator that is mostly available and you can use during your examinations. This is just a fact that I wanted to tell you because many people do overlook this. So, yes, data interpretation, English and logical reasonings, do at least 10 of them every day and make it a point to study your maths and stats every day. If you find something difficult, find the slot of your day that you can study the best. Some study the best in the morning, some in the evening, some in the night. I do not believe in the theory that morning is the best time to study. No. Your brain functions differently than another person's brain. You might study very good during evening and someone during the dawn or the night at 3 a.m. I'm sorry. So it depends on you. Any slot of day that you think is the best to grasp difficult topics or start new topics, leave that slot for the most difficult part of your preparation every day. If you find maths more difficult than statistics, practice during that time. If you find statistics more difficult than maths, practice during that time. Keep your mind fresh, take breaks, keep yourself entertained and do not stress too much because this examination is really not that difficult. You really need 3 to 4 months of good preparation to crack this examination, and if you are very well versed with your 11-12 syllabus, you need 2 months. You need 2 months and you will be able to crack this examination. Not only take this examination but crack it. So believe in yourself. I always say this, believe in yourself, believe that you can achieve this. I believe that you can achieve this, and we in our institute, we provide a lot of notes and English vocabularies and mock tests that are very important. It is very important for you to take mock tests to really know what parts that you are lacking, because you might think that you are very well versed in a certain part, but when you take a mock test, you really see that there are nooks and crannies that still need to be filled. So we do provide mock tests and everything that you need. The main motto of us is providing all the help that you need. So please do not hesitate to contact us, and all the best for all of your future endeavors and all your examinations. Have a great day.